Jai Bhim. Good evening from Dalit Bahujans for Hany Babu. Welcomes you all to the second part of its webinar series, Professor Hany Babu, his work and the way forward. I would like to welcome all the speakers who have been accepted for being as a responsible colleagues and concerned colleagues and lovable colleagues to be part of this webinar series. Now I would like to welcome all the participants who have joined to know and learn more about Professor Hany Babu. Today I could see from all corners of the places has been joined to expressing their solidarity for Hany Babu. I would like to welcome you once again from Dalit Bahujans for Hany Babu. We all know that many Adivasis have been thrown into jail using the term Maoist. Similarly, we all also know that Bhima Koregaon is a celebration which is important to Dalits. The people who organized it, the two Supreme Court judges, retired judges, they have come out openly and said that they were the main organizer and sole founders of the program. But in spite of that, the state is creating a huge false narrative that Maoists organized it, a way of delegitimizing the Bhima Koregaon celebration, which is dear to the this kind of scenario today, where his colleagues, the dearest colleagues from IFLU, from Delhi University, from JNU, has joined us to share the experiences. So I thanks once again all the speakers who have accepted our invitations to be in this platform. So now I would like to invite our first speaker, Professor Madhava Prasad. He was teaching in English and Foreign Languages University when Babu was an assistant professor in the Distance Education Department in English and Foreign Languages University. Hope you can tell us about your own encounters with Hany Babu and also talk about the huge clamping down of academic freedom that is happening today. I welcome you, Professor Madhava Prasad. We would love to listen, from your end. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you for organizing this. So yes, in the kind of general prevailing atmosphere of persecution of political opponents and dissidents of all kinds from all kinds of fields of activity, we have some of our friends have also become victims of this of these arbitrary actions, and one of them today we are gathered here to talk about one of them, Hany Babu, who is a former colleague and friend. You know, the situation is very clear. We know how these cases of mounting, and there are multiple sort of angles from which the state seems to be swooping down people whom it suspects, I guess, of not being in tune with its program, political and cultural programs. Language issues were one of the things that we had in common, and an interest that we had in common. I have been engaging with one of his essay, a very important essay, which he published in the EPW a while ago, which is one of the few essays that we have which actually deal with the question of the politics of language in India. If I think back, I think Sudipto Kaviraj has a key essay. I think D.L. Seth wrote a very interesting essay, and in that line of thinking, Hany Babu's is one of the important contributions. While of course I'm not in full agreement with everything that he argues. especially the diagnosis of the situation, um, and also his recommendation. What he ends up in this particular essay. It's an essay called "Breaking the Chaturvarna System of Languages." It's in EPW, in which he also ends up by way of recommendations to suggest that a two-language policy, uh, which is unlike what, say, the Tamil Nadu government currently adopts, more expansive in the sense that he suggests that there should be education in the mother tongue plus a universal language, which is taught to everybody, and that language being English. While I have a difference about whether it should be mother tongue alone, I think that today in India, we are in a situation where it is an urgent necessity to introduce a two-language policy and let all other third or fourth languages be up to the students, up to the schools, and so on, to decide to have or not to have. And so far as a requirement is there universally across India, it should be a two-language requirement. And I think that's a point of Hany Babu's I'm fully in agreement with. And I think it's also an urgent necessity because of the way in which the current situation, Indian nationalities are becoming more and more vocal and more able to deal with the world on their own terms. In the past, there was a problem, if you like, of what I call what bureaucratic language is called the proper channel. So, in other words, the nationalities had this obligation to go through what was supposed to be their own universal, which is India, the central government, basically. That situation no longer exists. So in this change, in the changed circumstances, it's necessary, I feel, to pay heed to what Hany Babu championing here in this essay. So yes, I want to say that this person is a soft-spoken, serious linguist. He took a very, very serious, deep interest in matters of language, and in terms of what Vinayakala has just been telling us about, reservation-related issues, campaigning within the academy, again, as she rightly pointed out. So a person who is a scholar, a serious scholar in his field, someone who also has argued for constitutional and legal ways of resolving issues, conflicts, some of the conflicts that are endemic to our independent existence as a union. So it is a matter of amazement and bewilderment as to why such a person would be suddenly, hounded in this manner, made to travel a long distance to be then held, and without even giving any reasons for why they need to hold him for any longer. As for the nature of this, what we are experiencing today, it seems to me that precisely some of these changes that we have seen with the advent of a kind of globalized capitalist kind of economy and the changes that go with that. That's this dream of a center which is as powerful as the colonial administration used to be. This is the This is, it seems to me, is what the national parties, to a greater or a lesser degree, have always been fantasizing about. While these things have been pursued with at some leisure and with some caution by the other national party, the current regime wants to pursue it in sort of fast-tracked sort of way, and so we are seeing the violation of rights, the violation of constitutional provisions, the enlistment of various institutions of the state to serve this purpose. It is a kind of experiment, it seems, to say, what we have always dreamt of, to now realize it's this kind of project. And it's this, especially in that context, I feel there is something particularly important about insisting upon the two-language policy as not just something that is good for the children, that they will learn better, but that the political challenge to the current precipitate campaign for forcible centralization and unification is itself caught up with this language issue, with these language issues. Although in Hany Babu's own way of dealing with it, this is not the political angle that he takes. He takes a somewhat different political angle about the caste sort of hierarchy, the parallels with the caste hierarchy that he highlights in his way of understanding this. So I'm here to express my sense of distress, anger, and the hope that we can all do something to prevail in whatever manner possible. First of all, get Hany Babu out of police and judicial custody, and also to join together with interested people, with realizing one of these goals, which is the official sort of acceptance of the two-language formula in some fashion that he recommends and which I endorse.
Thank you, sir, for bringing out the humane side of Dr. Hany Babu and elaborating on the political angle that Dr. Hany Babu has adopted in the language issues of the country.